Did you say off? Yeah. My name's Evan Salee. I am one of the co-founders here at Fair State, and I'm also the CEO. If you're just a random person that lives in our neighborhood, you can come into our tap room, you can get a pint of beer, and you can actually then go online and buy a piece of the business. Not a lot of people know about cooperatives. And certainly for a lot of people, even if they are aware of cooperatives, they only have kind of a base level familiarity. But once you're really in the world, it's like this whole new world opens up to you. When we were coming up with this idea, when we were talking about it, it wasn't like, why do it as a cooperative? The cooperative was the thing that allowed us to see ourselves starting this business. A lot of people, try to divorce, let's say, morality or ethics and business. They say business is just about making money, it's just about generating profit. I think the way that I go about business, the way that I think about this, is that our responsibility is greater. I always think that you should kind of put your money where your mouth is, where your values are. So, if you don't support the things that you want to see in the world, they're going to go away.
Seward Co-op is a community cooperative grocery store based in Minneapolis. We have been around for about 45 years now.
People buy shares in the co-op and then they own the co-op collectively. And it's meant to fit a need of the community. And it's actually how natural foods co-ops came around. Okay, this is gonna bore you guys a little bit. But in the early 60s, we had a couple of things go on, but one of them was there was a book published called Silent Spring, which talked about the use of pesticides and herbicides. So a lot of people became really concerned with what was on their food, and they banded together to make buying clubs so they could buy food that was clean. From there was a lot of interest that grew out of buying clubs into natural foods co-ops, and that's still the same reason people shop at co-ops today.
People get the idea that co-ops are expensive, so we want to have people come in here and feel like, oh, I can afford to eat something healthy, that's sustainable, organic, and that can help feed the community.
My background is as an attorney, and I certainly get paid here far less, I think, than I would have as an attorney. But for me, it's completely worth it. I really relish the fact that, we have a few dozen people here who can actually live lives too and are paid living wages. And that means a lot to me. It helps me go to sleep at night because I love to be able to build things. I love to be able to see the impact of what we do and how far that spreads.
Co-ops exist all over the country, and they exist in big spaces like big grocery stores. They also exist in really small rural communities. And the one thing that you're going to see when you go to all of these co-ops is a sense of community and a sense of belonging.
It never ceases to strike me how sometimes you can just go to a place and you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't even have to hear anything. You can just feel it.
When you walk into a place like a co-op, you generally immediately feel like you're welcome. And a lot of these co-ops have, taglines that say, everybody welcome.
And I think that there's so much of that in co-ops where you get just kind of it's in the walls, it's in the environment, and it's hard to explain where it comes from, but you can tell.
And when you come in, you feel like you belong. You feel like the people that are working there care about you. You feel like if you're shopping, the farmers who provide for you care about you. And it feels like you're all kind of striving towards the same goals.
And one of our end statements or one of our mission statements is to sustain a healthy community. That's how it starts.
When you're entering your first real career, it's a pretty exciting time. It's also a pretty daunting time. Are you gonna make the most money? Are you gonna have the most opportunity? Are you gonna be happy? I think, from my perspective, it's really easy to always want to just shoot for what's the most, what's the best. But what is gonna set you up to live the kind of life that you wanna live? It's really hard to do that, but if you can kind of go into your career search thinking about that more holistically, I think you'll be well rewarded.
Co-ops are the future. They're a business model that can be emulated almost anywhere, and you are investing in your community when you invest in a co-op.
And that's really neat for customers too when they come to the co-op and they can come here knowing that they're buying produce directly from a farm and they feel a direct impact.
You know, we have to act as citizens in everything that we do in our lives. And we have to respect that and respect what that means and what that requires of us.
When we focus on the health and the strength of our community, we grow as a co-op, we grow as people, and we kind of create a world that we want to be living in.